Hello everyone, this is Kevin Starcraft here with a game between Select and Thorzain. Also I added, this is Starcraft 1 music. For those of you who used to play Brood War and would like to feel a little nostalgic, I decided to make it a little bit better, especially since this is a Terran versus Terran, and I think most people agree that the Terran music from Starcraft Brood War was amazing. So this is, as I said before, this is between the Blue Terran and the Red Terran. Thorzain is the Blue Terran. Select is the Red Terran. As you see them good-lucking and high-five and have funning and not high-fiving. Although that'd be nice, you know, like good luck, high-five. It'd be really friendly, that sort of thing. Maybe let's all think of it as high-fiving from now on instead. As I said, well, okay. This is from MLG. This is from MLG Colombus, and it's on the most recent patch. So this is one of the most recent version of the game that we can be playing right now. It's on the current patch, so all the effects, most of them didn't really affect Terran, except for the ghosts are cheaper, but since they're not used a whole lot in Terran versus Terran, that's not that big of a deal. Also, you see these supply depots on the bottom. This is to stop people from being able to wall off, like Protoss players, especially against Zerg players, will build 3 pylons here, then a cannon to stop the Zerg player from being able to get out until they get to Roaches or Banelings, and it really delays that sort of kind of strategy. Terran players also sometimes build 2 bunkers, because 2 3x3 buildings actually can in fact lock off the wall, build 2 bunkers, you put 1 Marine in one of them, and then, you know, the Zerg player can't get out until they get a bunch of Zerglings, so that's not going to be very effective. Now we see we see Thorzain here going for the gas. We also see Select going for the gas as well. These are both standard setups within the Terran player's race. It means that they're not going to be going for a fast expand, a 1-Rex gasless fast expand, which is somewhat popular, but I'd say it has diminished recently as a result of people striving for more Blue Flame Helium drops and early Cloaked Banshees, which are quite effective in the Terran versus Terran battle. Terran versus Terran is incidentally my favorite matchup. It might be because I'm Terran, and I just love those Viking siege tank pushes. Those are just really exciting, and it's just so much about positioning. You really need to like stake out a position, like a high ground or around a Zelnaga watchtower, and you could really hold that. Like, it's almost impossible to assault if they just got siege tanks and Marines. That's all you need to defend any position. Well, and vision too, so that the other person can't creep up their siege tanks, which is why Vikings tend to be used a lot. See a reactor going down. Reactor at a barracks usually indicates. I would say, probably. I mean, I would guess Blue Flame. I would guess Hellions once they build the factory. Usually, you build the factory first, though. So I'm not quite sure which direction he's going to go this way. It could also mean some sort of Banshee push. Some sort of early Banshees as well. You know, it might just be for more Marines, though. This is kind of a strange build I've seen Select do. I will talk about the players for a little bit now, as long as there's a lull here. We do see Marauders coming out from Thorzain, but Thorzain is a Swedish player. He's quite good. Oh, he's pulled his units off of gas. That's interesting. It's probably going to be going for an early expansion right now. That's the reason why he's pulled his units off of gas. And in fact, we see it going down right now. And he's probably going to put them right on gas right away. Probably going to get a factory pretty soon as well, I would imagine. So these are not the most standard of builds. We see a early command center as well, and yes, it is just for Marines, the reactor. It's kind of weird that he decided to get gas just for the reactor. I guess it does make his factory a little bit earlier if he already has the gas when he starts the command center, but it does delay the command center a little bit and obviously hurts the economy as a result of that. So he can still be going easily for Hellions too. We'll have to see what exactly strategy is going. But anyway, Thorzain is from Sweden. He's done very well, especially in the TSL, the most recent TSL. He already got, I believe he got 3rd in that particular TSL. This is Thorzain, don't get confused. Red is Select. Select is a South Korean player. He's well known on the North American circuit. 3 Rexes, and you see him rallied forward. Oh, never mind, he changed the rally points. He's just going to scout with this Reaper and push out with a couple of Marines. Not going to do much. They're going to see the other Marines and back off, most likely. Maybe take some pot shots with the Marauder. Oh. And Marauder's going to live. Oh, Select is a South Korean player. He's very well known in the circuit because he tends to participate. That move was probably not a good idea. That was a lot more resources for Thorzain. If we go to the units lost station, yeah, he's lost 275. Reapers are 100. Marauders are 125. You do not want to be using those resources. And in fact, he is going for the Hellions here. But as I was saying, selected very well at MLG DC, actually, where he placed 2nd. I believe he lost to Hydra in that MLG, and he says that in an interview he actually said that Hydra was his biggest rival, which, I mean, I'm not sure how big of a rival it actually is. You know, he's got to come up with a decent answer in that to that question. We see him going for a starport right now. It's possible he could be going for a non-Blue Flame Hellion drop. Yep, he's going to be getting a medevac. Oh, he's actually pushing out. Just a small little force. He might be just trying to take the watchtowers and be able to defend against those. And Hellions are useful against that because they're very able to chase down the Marines that are running away. And the SCV is useful here, of course, because it can also repair it. He didn't check the other watchtower, which is a little curious. Thorzain might actually be in a little bit of trouble. That's why he's pulling off the SCVs, because it's all Marines there, and Hellions are quite good even without the Blue Flame upgrade against Marines, especially when they're hitting multiple ones just like that. And look at that, he was able to save the Hellions. The Marines can tank the damage, while the Hellions deal a lot of damage from behind. Hellions also quite good at tanking damage, having 90 hit points on their own, which is twice as that of Marine. He really needs to finish that bunker. Put another SCV in the bunker. There you go. Nice move, lifting up the supply depot, able to stop any sort of units from coming in, and the Marauder in that bunker is going to stop any more shenanigans. Oh, that's a lot of damage there. Look at how many workers are killed by that. Three kills. I think he's killed 6, 7, 8, 9 workers. That's a lot of damage that he's been doing to his economy. If we go to the income tab now, we see he's down by 10 harvesters at a time when they should probably be about even, actually. And only now is he actually cleaning up. So a relatively low-cost push. What was it? 6 Marines, 2 Hellions. That's only, that's only like 400 minerals, 300 minerals. Like, that's not that big of a commitment. In terms of an attack, and he was able to do a lot of damage. So you could see kind of random timing windows, and actually he dropped 3 mules. He was so busy microing that he wasn't able to keep he wasn't able to go back to his base to keep building mules. We do have the medevac, and here's the medevac. Yep, with 2 more Hellions, he's going to go into the back of the base, probably drop off in the corner, and try to run forward, see if he can do even more damage to the economy. But at this point, Thorzain's relatively far behind. He does have Stimpack finished, I believe, yep, which is extremely important in terms of damage dealing because it increases the DPS of Marines by so much, well, by 50%. But it only costs, 1/5, a little bit over or less than 1/5 of their health. Oh, but the Hellions, sorry about that. Hellions able to deal a decent amount of damage. 2 kills and 1 kill, so 3 kills total. Some of those might have been Marines. Sorry, I didn't catch the entirety of that. A decent amount of damage. Oh, and now he's moving in with the Banshee. Just constant harassment that he's doing here. And you can look that he has actually 3 times the income. Part of that might be because there's 3 mules. Oh, he's still got 2 mules going. And we see him moving in here. A couple of those, and he's got cloak already as well. Better put it on the protection tab to make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, and there's a lot of SCVs here who already are one-shotable. See, look at that. Boom, boom. And now they're repairing each other. That's not going to do that much good. Trying to put the turret down now. It's a little bit too late. He's got the Marines. Oh, that's an odd angle to stim for. Now he's just going to cloak him. He doesn't have energy for scan. He is, yep, he's away from energy for scan, so all I can do is sit there with his Marines and wait for scan energy to develop or for the turret to finish. It's just too much damage that's being dealt. And loss of mining time as they sit around repairing each other and not actually doing mining. Finally, he's able to scan, get rid of that. Not in time to save most of his workers. If we go to the income tab again, he's got over twice as many workers, actually. Now it's almost twice. So we see that there's a huge lead here for Select. And actually, Select is kind of going for an interesting strategy here. Is he going for a mech build? Yes, he is going for a mech build. He's got 4 factories, producing units right now. Well, 1 building and 3 units producing. So he's probably going to go for a heavy Blue Flame Hellion plus Siege Tank Assault. It's going to be before Thorzain is going to have any sort of defense, probably against it, and probably could see a very strong timing attack moving in. Coming up, and it's very likely that that timing attack's actually going to be able to end the game. He's got another Banshee here. Not going to be able to do too much with that Banshee. Oh wow, that SCV is lucky, surviving with 1 hit point. That 1 infantry armor is really helpful there. I didn't realize that 1 infantry armor makes SCVs take 3 hits from the Banshees. He's got to be a little more careful with that Banshee right there. Make sure it doesn't be taken out by these Marines. And sorry about this lag. The computer's tweaking out a little bit. I guess it doesn't like Banshees very much. Oh, he's got to be really careful though. 1 more hit from the missile turret's going to take it out. Oh. And remember that the reason they can see the Banshee, the Marines anyway, is because the missile turret actually has a longer sight range than it does a attack range, which is range is only 7, but it can see a little bit farther than that. Ooh, that was a really close call. Surprised he was able to take that one. Probably want to keep those SCVs on the mining though. And he's just still being a general nuisance with this Banshee. It already has 4 kills. There's a lot of SCVs here at 1 health though, and oh, there it goes. And over here we see Select just mounting up. He's creating a bigger and bigger army. We see him producing... we see Thorzain producing some medevacs, which is... I mean, this would be important because all of his troops are hurt from those Banshee attacks and those Hellion attacks, so almost all of them were in the red if we saw his army. A lot of P-Forces in the red need a lot of healing. More Hellions being dropped in, this time with Blue Flame. Able to deal a decent amount of damage so far to the SCVs, who decided to move in and attack, and actually that was really good control on the part of Select. Considering that Banshees are that Hellions with the Blue Flame upgrade are so effective against Marines, he was able to deal a lot of damage without taking too many losses. And wow, we see a double upgrade, 2 upgrades right in a row for Select, which just shows how much of a lead he is in. Now he's going to be pushing out with his siege tanks and his Hellions, and this actually, he's just going to take the center. I would say he's got 3 siege tanks building at a time now, so the longer he waits, the farther ahead he's going to be getting ahead of Select, just because his income level is just so much higher. Right now, it's the income disparity in minerals isn't that high, but the gas one is, because Select is so few people, or Thorzain is so few people on gas right now, which is just getting them back up so that their income level is going to be relatively similar again. Meanwhile, Thorzain just seems to be building up his army. This army is not very impressive. Our unit composition is not going to be very effective. Siege tanks will just chew through Marines. 2 hits and an entire group of Marines just gone. Not to mention the Blue Flame Hellions, which only take 2 hits to kill the Marines as well. Stimming out some Marines to make sure that there's no forces outside. He's about to go see this gigantic siege tank army that's about to blast his Marine. Oh. Nope, because he's unsieging and he's going to move forward now. He's going to use his Cloaked Banshee to be able to spot up ahead for the siege tanks, and he's just going to let the siege tanks pummel his forces. Oh, he's responding to the drop-off, which he was able to spot, and wow, that took out those forces. Those Marines are sorry that they decided to drop in. Wow, yeah, that was quite effective in blasting away, and that shrank Thorzain's army size. You see is less than half the supply of his opponent right now, and we should be seeing a GG, a final decisive battle, anytime now. Blue Flame Hellion's eating more. He doesn't even need to siege all of his tanks, just blast them away. Thorzain's going to be able to pick up and run away because there's no Thors to shoot down his medevacs anymore. But look at his forces. He doesn't have anything in his army. His army size is still less than half. If we go to the unit counting station, we see is 14 Marines and 2 Marauders against 12 siege tanks. That's almost 1 siege tank for each Marine, and siege tanks can each take out like 5 Marines. He's able to slow push in. He's going to drop some forces on top of the siege tanks, which is really smart. This is a really good idea, and actually Thorzain should probably unsiege his tanks. Select should probably unsiege his tanks. He's not going to, and it's not going to matter. He's just got way too many forces, and I expect the GG at any point in time now. Yep, and there's the GG, and this is PGL Milncraft. Sorry, I didn't mention that at the beginning. PGL Milncraft signing off. Go visit our website, www.progamingleagues.com. Alright, see you guys in the next game.